Stop apologizing for being you. This is where I dare you to be you. You are listening to Unapologetically Authentic with your host, Erin Reniger. This is where playing small is no longer an option. Live in your purpose and take action over perfection.
Hey, y'all. I'm so excited that you're here for episode number 2. So excited. So give yourself a pat on the back for showing up today. Look in the mirror and give yourself a little wink and be like, hey, girl, thank you. Or, hey, handsome, thank you for showing up today. I titled this episode, Waiting on What? Because that's a question I ask myself. That's questions I ask other people. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting until the time is right? I mean, really, is the time ever right? Are you waiting for the stars to align? Are you waiting for everyone in your family and your friends to support you? Are you waiting for your bank account to be just the right number before you do anything? When you ask someone why they haven't done something in their life, big, little, halfway in between, it doesn't matter. What you always hear is, well, I'm waiting till the time is right. Let me tell you, sister or brother, that is the biggest excuse you will ever use. That's just your setback. That's your easy go-to. It is your crutch to hold you back from doing what you want to do. That is your excuse. And let me let you in on a little secret. Are you ready? I don't know if you can tell anybody else this, so it's a secret. It is never going to happen. You will never go for it because the timing will never be right. It's not about our timing. It's about God's timing. That's all there is to it. So I have a funny story for you. Last episode I talked about set the date, right? Set the dang date. Well, I did that, right? I did that with my podcast. I did that with getting married. I did that with having children. I did that with building houses. I did that with starting my salon. I did that. Well, sometimes God has his own plans of what your timeline should be. So last week when I was recording for my first ever podcast to be released, I was so excited and all these things. And remember, it's my first one, so I had no idea what I was doing. I was doing all the uploading and the downloading and all those things and putting the publish date out there, putting it out so it was on Apple, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on all the things I could think of to put it on. And I did those things. I got done with the computer. I closed it down for the night. I was so excited. The only thing I could tell my husband was, I'm like, I can't stop smiling. I don't know what it is. I just got this great feeling, but I can't stop smiling. I felt so good about it. I'm like, God was just speaking right through me. It just felt amazing. I was talking to my daughters, and my oldest daughter walked in, and I said, do you want to hear my podcast? She's like, well, let me hear like the first 7 minutes, 10 minutes of it. Just let me hear the beginning. I want to wait till you release it. And I said, okay. So she listened to it, loved it, super excited about it. About a half an hour later, I get a text message from my oldest daughter's best friend. And I see this image come through, and I open it up, and it's a screenshot of my podcast. And she said, I'm listening to this before I go to bed. I'm so excited. And literally my heart stopped. I'm like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? She's like, What? It was just on my phone. It came through on Apple Podcast. I was like, what? How? What? It's not supposed to publish until like a week and a half. She's like, well, I don't know. It's there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I get in and I look and I'm like, oh my gosh. I text my husband. I said, honey, my podcast published tonight. Like tonight. Like it's out there. Everybody can hear it. Oh my gosh. And I couldn't explain to him for a minute, like the feeling. And I just giggled. The next day it hit me. I said, you know, when you're standing on the edge of a pool, think about it, guys. You're like standing on the edge of the pool. You're ready to jump in, but you're not like mentally prepared, you know? My grandmother used to say, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. Well, and then sometimes you still didn't jump, right? And someone walks by and shoves you in the pool. I said, that was my moment. God walked by and shoved me in the pool. And as I'm splishing and splashing, right? Splashing all the things. I come to the top and I wipe my eyes and I look up and there's God winking at me saying, I got you, girl. I knew you could do it. You were ready to swim, sister. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's out there. You guys, someone needed to hear that. You needed to hear that. It wasn't about me. It was about you. Someone needed to hear that Monday morning or that Sunday night on their drive to work Monday morning about, you know, how to take action over perfection and let it go. So there's just another moment, you guys. I wasn't ready. I didn't think I was ready. God knew I was ready. So what is it that you're waiting for? Are you waiting for that shove from God? Well, you got to start the work. He won't shove you until he knows you're ready. But you have to start. You have to take the leap. Set the date. Make your dreams come a reality. And it doesn't have to be anything huge like this big old dream. It can start as you're unhappy in your job. How about you make the change? Look for another job. Start interviewing. Get your resume together. What if it's you want to write a book? Get out the paper and start writing. You want to start a podcast? Get out your computer. Get yourself a microphone. Start. Whatever it is that you want to do, do it. The only difference between you and someone else doing what you want to do is they've already did the hard things. They've already done the hard things, I should say. We look back on people and think, well, they must have had it easy. They must have had more money. You do that comparison game, what I tell you not to do, but we all do it. If you want to change, you have to make the changes. Stop waiting for that right time. I listen to people all day in my salon. And I love listening to their goals. I love listening to their dreams. But I also hear a lot of people just unhappy in what they're doing and not living out their dreams. And the first question I ask is, what's holding you back? And guess what the answer almost 100% of the time is? I just don't have the time. It's not the right time yet. Just as a side note, y'all, we all have the same 24 hours a day. It's all in what you do with it. Even as things as starting a diet or starting an exercise plan or starting some supplements, making changes, putting self-care on your list of priorities of things that you need to do. That's another whole episode to get into is self-care. Let me tell you, we all need self-care. It's self-preservation. If you want to think it differently as self-care, it's self-preservation. But stop waiting for the right time. I'm so excited for a client that was just in recently. And I got her fire going. I got her talking about her dreams. Because sometimes that's what the first step is. You got to tell somebody about it, right? Tell somebody about your big old dream that you want to do. Because they think they're crazy. We all get stuck in that. And I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm lighting up. She's lighting up. I can see the fire in her. I can see it happening. I'm so excited for her. And I said, all right, did you set the date? When are you going to do this? She's like, it's just not the right time right now. And I stopped her. Like, I almost interrupted her. I may have interrupted her. And I apologized, but then I stopped. I said, I'm not apologizing for telling you to stop telling yourself an excuse. Go figure it out. You can do this. You've already taken so many little steps. She's doesn't have car payments. She doesn't have this. She doesn't have this. She's like downsized in different things to make this happen. I'm like, you've already started and you didn't even realize you started. I'm like, go after it. Do the things. I messaged her the next morning. I said, did you set the date? She sent a text back that's all these fire emojis. She's like, you have me all lit up. I'm so excited. No, I haven't set the date, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm so proud to hear that. I'm going to follow up with her soon to see how she's doing with her dreams. I had another couple in the other day, the same thing. They want to do these things. I just set the date. No, I got to figure out this, and this first. I'm like, stop waiting on the perfect time. I said, what is it? If money wasn't an issue, what is? I said, if money is the issue, how are you going to create more? Here's another little story. If I waited till I had the money to open my salon, that salon would never be open. And here's another thing to think on. I almost did wait on opening my salon just because of the pandemic was going on. There was so much fear. There was so much things, just so much unknown. The prices of things hadn't started to go up quite yet when I was like in the middle or getting ready to build. And when I chose to keep going, push forward all through the hard times, all through the unknown, all through not working at the time and then going back to work and all these things, it was just crazy, right? And I tell my clients that come into my salon right now, I said, if I would have waited that one more year, if I would have leased another building, if I would have had rented another place, if I would have had bought another place and not followed exactly what my dream was, if I would have settled, right? We'll say that. If I would have settled and waited a year, there was absolutely no way I could have built my salon a year later. Because of inflation, because of everything that was going on, it would have cost me at least twice as much to build that same salon. So this is what I mean. Stop waiting. Because we're always waiting for things to get better, You guys, sometimes things get worse. Who could ever foresee the pandemic coming on, right? But I didn't let it stop me. I forged ahead and did the hard things and made it happen. So this is that is my note to you. My thing is just go after it. Stop waiting on the right time. You will never, ever have all the stars align. Have all of your family and friends support you. Your bank account will never be just where you think it needs to be to go after your big dream. So just go do it. Waiting, stressing, and having anxiety over how your current situation isn't what you want is your biggest waste of time. I can't stress that enough. From the current situations that I've been in, I've realized that having anxiety over them, stressing over them, all the things changes nothing. Think for a minute. The last time something bad happened, your finances fell short, someone lost a job, someone was ill, any of those things, did stress or anxiety change that situation? Absolutely not. The only thing it did was harm you. And it wasn't pleasant for anyone else around you, too. Remember what I said? Energy is everything, and everything is energy. If you have negative energy of stress and anxiety coming out of you, nobody wants to be around that. And when they are, it just leaks out onto them too. So then that turns them into more stress and more anger. So quit wasting your time stressing about things that you cannot change. Stop looking back of things that have happened behind you and just choose to look forward. Make some changes that, whatever the changes may be, that have to help you get through those hard times. But don't stress over what has happened because you can't change that. So I'm going to leave you with, you guys, the time is now. Start laying those bricks to build your story you want to tell your grandkids about. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Go chase those dreams, guys.
I hope that you can learn to live unapologetically authentic. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to Unapologetically Authentic with your host, myself, Erin Reniger. Please take the time to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It really helps me learn and grow and get the word out there. Share. All of this motivation. I'm so excited to be here. And if you're looking for more of me and want to learn and know me a little bit better, you can always follow me on Instagram at Motivate, Move, and Nourish. And on Facebook, just as myself, Erin Reniger. Thanks so much, y'all. Have a very blessed day.